sun is shining, 'cause the light's not fair. I'm talking to my darkest shadows. This love is do or die, but they don't care. I don't know why I do this to myself. It's not right, but I can't love no one else, no one else.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Rogue Company Update Show. My name is Pretty Hair. I will be your host today. I'm joined by my good friend and our fearless leader, lead design, Scott Gandhi. How are you on this beautiful summer day, my friend?
Feeling good, sir. Just fired up.
Beautiful.
You know?
We got a lot of cool stuff to get into, for sure, man. I'm looking forward to getting into it. Jinx, you owe me a soda, and welcome to the Hot Rogue Summer Update, guys. All types of cool stuff to get into on this one. Let's give you a quick little preview, actually, at what we have coming up for you. Roadmaps, what's to come. That's what we know you guys like to look at, and so we're going to have a little bit of a teaser here of what Phase 1 entails. We'll get into the rest of that in the show kind of as we flow through. We'll chat a little bit more about Phase 2 and Phase 3 towards the end of the show, but for now, we're going to focus on Phase 1. What is here right now, the Hot Rogue Summer. Let's get into it. So with a quick look there at the roadmap out of the way, it's time to get into the new stuff, Scott. The content here in this patch, in this first little bit, it's a step every young shooter game has to make on their way to adulthood. It is
the journey,
the custom crosshair. It's a short step and a long journey of making Rogue Company the best it can be. But I think it's something everybody's probably universally going to be excited about: the custom crosshair options.
Yeah, the reality of it is that when it comes to shooters, it's all about, making those little fine micro adjustments inside of there, getting it just the way you want. Like, for example, as soon as this went in, I spent like 35 minutes getting the right customization inside of there. I like it a little thin, and then I also like it a little small, right? And it works out pretty damn well for me.
That's all good. There's no wrong answers here with the custom crosshair customization options that we have for you. Right now, it's things like color, like Scott mentioned. It's going to be thickness, height of the crosshair. Ultimately, you will still live and die by that cross option. That's what we're sort of allowing customization right out the gate. I'm sure at some point in the future, we'll have ways for you to do your dots and your circles and whatever other god-awful crosshairs you guys can come up with. But this is, I think, a step in the right direction.
I think it just helps you get a little bit more intimate with your shooting experience altogether, right?
This is still going to be very reflective of what you're used to seeing in-game. This is still ultimately the cross. A lot of how we convey gunplay and bloom and how accurate you are is reflected by how this cross kind of bounces in and out. So that's sort of still the bounds with which you have to work in. Obviously, we'd be open to kind of opening the floodgates later on, but as the game is still new, we think this is a good place to start. This is a good place to kind of branch out a little bit, but the crosshair ultimately does convey some gameplay messaging and like how this gun is working, blooming, recoiling, all that sort of good stuff. But we do want to give you guys a little bit of elbow room to play around with that. Of course, we did have color options up there. We showed you mostly the height, thickness of the crosshair. But that's all good stuff if you want to get in there with the color. Like Scott said, everybody's a little bit different, right? How close are you sitting to your TV? How far away? How, that sort of thing. I think, if your eyebrows up to the monitor, then maybe you want to, thin it out, shorten it a little bit. But if you're kicking back on the couch, doing your thing, picking that boy up, get it a little bigger, rock and roll with it. It's all good stuff.
I don't have the vision anymore to sit back.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Getting too old. I'm not what I used to be.
So with this new crosshair, Scott, we have a fun new game mode for you guys. Game modes is something we love exploring. We think it's a really fun way. We love the core of Rogue Company, and we've been enjoying this ride of just running around, playing different game modes, finding different ways to enjoy the game and the core gameplay that we all know and love so much. This is a classic. It's a fan favorite. I think everybody is going to universally love our iteration of Team Deathmatch. We have, of course, some spicier things to get into, but Scott, this is it's the classic, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Team Deathmatch, pure frags, no objective, 4v4 skirmish maps, first to 50. This is going to be good stuff, I think.
Yeah, so the big thing here is that, and you kind of touched on it already, we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to put our own little, Rogue
You can't put out
flair.
Team Deathmatch and
it's hard.
change a bunch of stuff.
It's hard. So the big thing here is that, unlike, Strikeout or any of our other core modes, this isn't round-based. There is one round, and that is it. So you start off the match, and you have $13,000. And then as you go through, you accrue money by killing enemies, getting assists, same way, all normal scoreable actions. But as you kind of touched on a little bit, when you down enemies and you eliminate them, they actually drop a pile of cash inside of there. Then you're able to pick that cash up. And when you die, now you have access to the item shop. And now you can kind of figure out your build from that point on.
two huge things there. Buy when dead. It's
Yep.
it's necessary in the one round
It is.
mode, right? All this cash you're earning, if you never have a chance to go back to the plane like you would in other modes, you never have a chance to spend it, right? So that's the core issue that this buy when dead solves. We actually really like buy when dead. This is something, if we get a lot of positive feedback, if you guys are enjoying it, maybe we want this in King of the Hill, feel free to like let us know, give us your thoughts on the buy when dead feature. That's a big one. It takes a little getting used to, obviously, because you're used to the plane is when I buy things. So just take that note, and it'll take you a little time to get used to. Like you mentioned, these cash drops are really good. Without reinventing the wheel, TDM, it can get a little campy sometimes. Like if you have an advantage, you don't have a like big incentive to move, right? So getting these kills, these eliminations, dropping those cash piles, these are global, right? Scott gets a kill, picks up a cash pile from that kill. I'm getting money from that. So everyone on the team is sort of incentivized to be running around, make sure the map is flowing and the gameplay is good and not getting too stagnant in any one area of the map. Really enjoyed kind of these little things, these little twists we've put on TDM to make it fit and make it Rogue Company.
And one big thing is that this is played on the skirmish maps, right? So this is Depot, Rooftops, District. These are the maps that are a little bit more close quarters, right? You're a little bit more CQB. You're right in the action as soon as you spawn. Spawn, throw your melee weapon, pray to God you get it kill. You didn't, and then you get it back right into the action inside of there. So the camping actually has been mitigated a lot by using the smaller maps, which is actually one of the main reasons why we went down that path. We've explored it on other maps, and we might have an iteration in the future where it does work on fan favorites like Skyfell, Icarus, and stuff along those lines. But on the skirmish maps, it's like a beautiful blend of chaos and Roco, right? Just that nice little mix.
That's right. And getting into these games with your new crosshair in your new mode of team deathmatch, we've done a little bit of work to present enemy health bars and UI treatments a little bit better. Specifically, the outline, the stenciling, as we call it, around the enemies that are in your field of view, as well as their health bars when you approach them and you view them. Scott, if you want to expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, so ultimately, when we look at our game, we try to find all the little micro improvements inside of there to help visibility in the combat space. And so, believe it or not, there are plenty of times inside of standard Roco right now where you can round a corner, see an enemy, and sometimes you actually think it's a friendly. And so when we dove into that, we realized, well, you know, they have a white health bar, it's an enemy. Let's just try, let's go to the red health bar, let's go a little bit more down that path, and then let's just see how we can improve friendlies, right? Because we had a white outline on friendlies, but then we had a white enemy nameplate, right, at the same time. So we had a little bit of conflicting information, and so our goal was to just say, hey, we want to make sure that combat visibility, being able to identify an enemy at a quick glance is of our utmost importance, and so we just kind of leaned all the way in on that.
Awesome. Lots of good stuff coming for you guys. Remember, team deathmatch, 1 round, first to 50 kills, pick up the cash drops, spend your money when you're dead. That's a big one.
It's dude, it's tough.
You'll learn.
We still catch ourselves every once in a while, but for the most part, you know, we have the cash right there underneath the mini map now on the screen. So right underneath the mini map, you get to see how much cash you have, and then for, you know, the long-term Rogue Company players, you know, you see $12,000, you're playing
you know
Demo.
what that means.
Yeah, you're getting life drain.
You know,
speed it
what
up. Let's get in there.
New game mode, new presentation, new crosshairs, lots of good stuff coming on that front. Let's talk about the weapon balance. It's a new update. You guys have given us a lot of feedback. Obviously, the elephant in the room here is the time to kill changes. We have since reverted those. We've put out some announcements. Twitter, Reddit, make sure you're checking all of your normal sources to get a little bit more in-depth onto that revert. I just want to say from my own point of view, if you are liking something, if you're not liking something, whatever it is, it doesn't always have to just be when you want something changed. If we change something in Rogue Company and you like it, please let us know, because all of that feedback matters one way or the other. Make it so that the squeaky wheel isn't always the one that gets the grease here. Make sure your voice is heard. With that said, Scott, we have a couple of things. Before we get into like the nitty gritty of each individual weapon change, I wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of talk about the high level of sort of what is the goal of these sort of 6 to 8 changes or so that we are making.
Yeah, so I think the main thing when we look at our game, especially in the past couple of patches, is that we know that Rogue Company is a game that is dominated by assault rifles altogether, right? Yeah. Assault rifles are unbelievably strong up close. They're also really good in mid-range, and they also compete with DMRs and snipers at long range. And so when we stopped and we looked at it, we said, okay, we need to give some breathing room to SMGs and shotguns to allow them to excel inside of their desired ranges. And we also need to do the same thing with DMRs. And so what we've done is we've looked at a couple of the different ARs and we said, okay, well, let's kind of put these into their own swim lanes. Let's make sure that when the Sahara gets up close, it's not winning the majority of the gun battles against an SMG, right? So we wanted to say, you know, let's look at the hip fires here. Let's adjust the ranges and make sure that there is a difference between an assault rifle and a DMR, and also that SMGs can also win. Now, that said, I mean, the next piece in there is SMGs, right? Submachine guns in Rogue Company, they're really strong in strikeout because you're able to close that gap, get up on a corner, and then kind of lock them down, right? You're able to actually play in the distances which they excel at. In Demolition and King of the Hill, where you're a little bit more free-flowing, there's a lot of times, and by a lot of times, I mean, if everyone here at this point knows, the majority of the engagements that you get into with an SMG, because you're on the run, is somewhere between like 15 and 25 meters, right?
Yeah. And
so when we looked at that, we were like, well, SMGs already have like pretty, not the best, you know, aim over shoulders accuracy, and they also have a decent amount of bloom. So what we wanted to do is say, you know, let's have SMGs actually be able to compete inside of those ranges. And so we looked at some accuracy improvements inside.
Gotcha. Let's get into the nitty gritty a little bit here. The HRM 30K, this is Dallas's, and of course, Trench's heavy assault rifle, seeing a hip fire accuracy reduction from 90 to 88.5. The Mark IV, this is Saint's assault rifle, has seen a range reduction from 26 meters to 22 meters for total. Sahara is getting a hip fire reduction similar to the Harm 30K from 91% to 89.5. The SMGs, like Scott mentioned, we wanted to bring those up a little bit. None of these are damage changes. These are all like accuracy, feel, fall off, that type of thing. The D40, LMPX, and 24S are all seeing an aim over shoulder accuracy bonus of just 1%. Get it a little bit closer to perfect accuracy when you actually do aim over shoulder. The LMPX, it is kind of that like hybrid AR SMG, so that will be just a little bit more accurate than the other SMGs in the class. But ultimately, that's sort of what we're trying to achieve here, right? Assault rifles are dominant in the mid-range, but they are also a little bit too dominant up close and a little bit too dominant from range. We're trying to bring that range of effectiveness in while extending the SMG's effective range in the areas in which they dominate just out a little bit. I think we feel pretty good about where DMRs are at. I'm loving the Deadeye right now, personally. I think the DMRs are long range. They are dominant there. They are king there. That's something that we feel we are hitting pretty good on. Obviously, if you feel differently, always leave us that type of feedback. But SMGs, ARs, that's sort of what we're really focusing on with these changes.
Yeah, and I think the big thing, like, honestly, when I look at the SMGs now in hindsight, this is really just like a quality of life. You know, our game is built to be a little bit more run and gun inside of there, and you're moving from cover to cover. And for SMGs, the only way they were able to really come out on top is to play almost a little bit more methodical, kind of like a shotgun, where you had to be in really good positions, hunker down, and then laser someone down. But now you are able to compete at more ranges, and I think that just kind of helps the overall feeling of running, like, you know, an SLC or a D40C on shock. You know, that helps a lot.
Yeah, aiming over the shoulder, starting a little bit more accurate. It's not like these guns don't have the bloom and the recoil.
Totally.
A lot of it is regulated by the fact that they are fast fire rate, they are going to bloom, they are going to recoil. So we just want to give you a little bit of a better place to start from. It's still going to be things you have to deal with, and it's part of the SMG class. It's part of what dictates where they're strong.
And there's actually one small note that we actually kind of missed in there, which is, so at 99% accurate, when you crouch, right, you gain an accuracy modifier when you crouch. You know, you get improved accuracy. So, and when you're in SMG, let's say you're playing around medium cover, right? You're behind a trash can or something like that. Yeah. When you pop up because you're crouched, you're going to have 100% accuracy here.
You will.
And so now your overall engagements are just going to get more consistent, and also feel like, you know, you can actually compete against ARs.
Yep, not just something you can do after you've defeated your enemies, but you can crouch for an in-combat bonus. There is an MXR hipfire nerf as well, from 90% to about 88, similar to probably what those ARs are going to be seeing, around 2% or so. Don't want to skip over that one. That one is a particular a particular problem child, the MXRs, hip fire, and the way that that can be effective, it sometimes doesn't necessarily feel like that DMR. So pushing it a little bit further out of that hip fire swim lane is something we're looking to do. Also, melee weapons, quick note here, when we sort of nerf them across the board, Scott, we touched both the melee damage base, the thrown melee damage baseline, as well as the throw speed. The speed is not really what was at the heart of the changes. The damage is really what we wanted to hit there. So we are going to be reverting those throw speed changes back to their pre-season 2 values.
Yeah, and I think the big thing here is that when we looked at it, we weren't sure how much of an impact, you know, the body damage was going to have. Obviously, we knew it was going to be significant, but I didn't expect it to be as significant as it was. And then when we were kind of looking at it, I was like, well, there's really no need to reduce the throw speed anymore. Let's keep what made throwing melee weapons feel fluid and familiar as you go from weapon to weapon. Let's bring up that speed. Let's keep that the same and then lean in on the skill so you're not learning 2 things now, right? We already added the headshot damage for you to remaster now inside of there. So let's get you back the old speeds and send you on your way.
Yeah, not too many projectiles in Rogue Company. It's largely a hit scan game, so we don't want to, like, when we implement anything that is projectile, we try to keep it in that familiar range so you're not having to learn all these different projectile speeds in your hit scan game. It's something we want to keep pretty consistent. You learn it once, and you're pretty much good to go in Rogue Company. That does it kind of for our balance section. We're going to move on to cosmetics and other content of the like. Summer is here, Gandhi. It's suns out, guns out time. A lot of cool stuff coming in our summer update with the theming there. Very, very bright pastel colors. The first one we have is Wake Rider Sigrid. My first character getting her first. You know, she got Scaducci, but this is that first skin. You know,
it is the big reveal of the first one. Yeah.
There it is. Pounding on the shield too, right as we cut to her. Beautiful job there, Sigrid.
Yeah, she's getting it. So, the big thing with this is that, you know, we saw it a little bit, and hopefully she'll do that animation again, but we actually did update the skin on the shield as well. So the shield is also getting the same outfit adjustments as the base model is here. And if we could rotate on the bottom, the art team did an incredible job on getting a couple of little those, you know, cookies in there with, we got the dolphin on the ankle. What did you say? The girl with the dolphin tattoo?
The girl with the dolphin tattoo. That is what came. That's what popped into my head when we took a look here. Wake Rider Sigrid. She's got the scuba mask. She's ready to rock and roll. Got that combat knife though. Always stay strapped on the right calf. And we'll.
You can't trust people. You know, that's Sigrid's motto.
Can't trust a shark.
You definitely can't trust a shark.
She's in there.
Although
she's ready to rock and roll.
Dolphins are the real issue. Dolphins will go out of their way to beat up sharks. And I think
here we go, baby.
But, you know, whatever.
Hey! There it is. There's the shield, guys. One of the best things about Secret Skins is that you get to play with the shield, too. Put on some stickers, fun colors, all that good stuff coming along with the Secret Skins there. Up next, we have Spring Break Seeker, and there he is.
He's basically my spirit animal. This is what I want to...
Oh, God.
I would love salmon pants like this, right?
Salmon pants is a powerful move. It's a powerful statement to make, but Seeker is a powerful character, you know? I think this is the, you know, the coming of age story for Seeker. He was the youngest on the squad, the rookie, and now he's just exuberating confidence with the salmon pants, with the farmer's tan and the flower lay. Hey,
you know, it's not Seeker's fault that he has a farmer's tan. Okay, his parents still make him cut the grass. He doesn't go outside with a shirt on. You know, it's okay.
This is probably my personal favorite here, Ocean Avenue Talon. Not salmon pants here, but the bright. This screams Miami Vice. I love the color scheme.
He looks so good.
It looks good on Talon, man.
The color scheme's great. I want this jacket as well. Basically, this patch is everything I want to wear that I can't wear because I'm not cool enough to do it, right? and this jacket kind of embodies that. You know, Talon's getting to this point where he just has so many good skins.
Does have some good skins. He's a stylish guy, though. I mean, Talon is definitely upholding the second pillar of the Rogue Company mantra of looking good, and I'm sure he gets paid with those beautiful blue alligator shoes, no doubt here. And it wouldn't be summer without a little bit of freedom, without a little bit of good old red, white, and blue, and Scorch's She is the one to rock it here. Look
My
at
girl.
this. Look at the arm. I mean, the way that you can still kind of tell that the great job on the texturing here with all the metal shining through. It looks very, very freedom powered.
Yeah, Kenzie and the entire art team absolutely crushed this. Like, even from the early concept, I remember seeing it in Slack and going, well, this is like an instant, I equip this for me,
Yeah.
right? I love the idea of Scorch being the Patriot inside of there. You know, the Brooklyn Burner,
Yeah.
sporting it. One of my favorite skins that we've done today.
Absolutely. And this pack, this all will come as a bundle, the Independence bundle, or excuse me, the Scorch Patriot pack. Stars and Stripes Scorch, obviously, in the red, white, and blue weapon wraps on your primaries, your secondaries, and I believe this has a melee variant as well. But no detail has been left unthought of in this one. I mean, all the way you can look at Scorch's eye makeup, frosted tips on her hair. I mean, she really kind of has it going on there. And there is the Patriot pack melee weapon skin as well. So it's the full kit and caboodle here. The Scorch skin, primaries, secondaries, melees. You are completely covered in red, white, and blue.
And I think the big thing here that I love, and I think everyone will remember this from the first patch, so
Yeah.
if you watched it, is I love matching my outfits. And now this is a perfect match. You know, I don't even have to worry about it anymore. I'm just like, oh yeah, cool, get the bundle. Everything's all decked out.
This is mom has laid out your outfit before school for you, and you don't have to think about it. Just buy the pack and rock and roll, baby.
My wife picks out my clothes for me.
Oh, well, from wife to mother, it's always good to be taken care of one way or another. The Independence bundle, of course, going along with our Stars and Stripe theme. This is a separate bundle that will come with some more account-wide cosmetics, less specific to Scorch. Of course, those weapon wraps, you can use them on anyone's guns. Those are not specific to Scorch. But this comes along with your Independence Day banner, your Sam's hat avatar, the USA border, and of course, the firework safety emote. Everyone, make sure you are safe out there. Of course, if you are going to light off explosives, these are the rogues. These are highly trained agents of destruction, but even sometimes they get a little bit caught off guard. And there's the firework fail emote here for the Independence bundle. One more time, show us Scuba Secret.
It's always a little bit nerve-wracking when you light off fireworks, and I think the animation team did such an incredible job capturing that in this one. And now one of my personal favorites here. This is the grill out emote. You know, we're starting to mess around with more and more props inside of here, and this one is just perfect.
I think this is where emotes really kind of start to come alive, is when we can do stuff like this. Not only putting out the fireworks, the grill, it's all summer themed, it's all in good fun. And you can see this one playing out one more time for you. I love it, man. I mean, these are super fun to mess around with. These are the ones that it feels like you should be awarded bonus points if you can get it off, right? That's a long one. That's not a quick dance. That's not a quick teabag. That is the full out, I'm going to blow up this grill in your face.
Well, the key to that one, which everyone knows is not toxicity, is to do that after you've won the round. Then you got to defuse the bomb, right? You just flip.
Only one person could be the hero. Only one person could defuse the bomb. You need something else of equal weight to do, right? Hit the grill, start, the celebration meal. Everyone's got to refuel after a long fight. That's not it, though, guys. The Rising
all about family.
Tide bundle. The Rising Tide raises all ships. The primary, secondary, and melee wraps available across all of your rogues. There's the Rising Tide on the primary. Here it is on the secondary. Very cool animated wrap here. Really good looking melee wrap, I gotta say.
It looks really good on the melee weapons. I think the bat showcases it off the best as well. It just kind of feels like you're swinging water almost. Looks really good. The VFX team and the weapon art team just continue to raise the bar inside of there. And you get to see that here from the poolside vibes wingsuit. Just really fun to wingsuit into the map with this one equipped. It's quickly become one of my go-tos inside of there.
Yeah, very, very, very blue. Very, very vibrant, very animated, of course, as it is that epic rare tier. Very good stuff here. All summer theme. That's the theme of the skins. Sunset Horizon primary only wrap. This is a really nice looking one here on Seeker's Sahara rifle. Love this color scheme here, right? The sunset's going down. Match this up with your Talon skin, your Ocean Avenue Talons. You'll be looking right. Plenty of good stuff here to get through. Watergun Assassin Avatar is another summer-themed cosmetic available for us. And there she is, right next to the Uncle Sam hat. And the Aqua Commander Epic Banner here. Continuing on with our theme, we've got all types of cool avatars, banners, borders, all that good stuff. The Water Gun Warriors as well. Beach Blaster Sprays. These are some things you can do as well. Plaster them on the ground after you've defeated your enemies. Of course, there it is, the Beach Blaster Spray itself.
You know, some say this is foreshadowing for a future LTF, right?
Ooh.
I don't know who that some is, but some say a water gun fighting Rogue Company would be pretty sweet. You know, press 1 in the chat if you think it'd be sweet. You know what I mean?
Let's rock it. Marble Cake Wingsuit here. Absolutely ton of great cosmetics here. Summer themed stuff all the way from the Independence Pack to the Scuba Sea Grid. It's awesome, guys. Plenty of wraps, all types of cosmetics across the board. Let us know what you guys are most excited for. But we did earlier, of course, tease this roadmap, and we went through most of Phase 1 with you here today, but Phase 2 and Phase 3 remains to be seen. So let's take a look at that now, just as promised. This is to the future, Scott.
To the future.
Quick look here for me. Weapon Mastery is probably what I'm most excited for in this. I think there's a lot of cool stuff we can do with this and a lot of cool ways to maybe break you out of your comfort zone a little bit. You've been falling into a rhythm with a rogue and a certain gun. Let's give you some incentive to branch out a little bit. There's
also a little hidden thing that we're keeping from that as well that we'll reveal in the future for sure.
Love it.
But one of the big things for me is that from a development side, we've heard and we've seen all the complaints and the issues that you all experience with AFK and levers. And so I'm very excited for the next 3 to 5 month arc of our time to make sure that we're addressing this pain point for you all. So this is mostly just step 1, and we're going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah, guys, of course, ongoing improvements there. Levers, AFKs, we get just as frustrated. We run into it just as much as you guys do, and we're working tirelessly to fix that issue for you and make Rogue Company the best possible game it can be. That does it for this week's update show, guys. Make sure you're staying tuned. Rock and roll with us. Plenty of good stuff coming for you over the summer. Thank you all so much for joining and following along. We love you. We'll catch you next time.